Hey everybody, Dave Floss here from Mentally Unbalanced and Prometheus Falling Toys, and today's short episode is called You Don't Always Get What You Want. So stick around. Alright, so as I said, today's episode is called You Don't Always Get What You Want. And what I'm ultimately referring to is, well, when you order something and you absolutely don't get what you expected to get. So I've been collecting Transformers and other toys and collectibles for many, many years. And every now and then you see an offer and it seems too good to be true. And oftentimes it is too good to be true. Now, this could be anywhere. This could be eBay. This could be Amazon. The one that I'm going to share with you today was actually an ad through Facebook. And it oftentimes has to do with ordering from overseas. Now, it can happen, so I'm based out of the United States. And it can definitely happen even if you're ordering from somebody within the United States. I'm going to just refer to it as some people are, less than scrupulous when it comes to actually delivering what they said they would deliver. What I've often found, too, is that many times the advertisements will say that it's shipped or based out of the U.S., and then you find out only when you actually get the tracking that they might be based out of the U.S., but everything they're ordering is from overseas. And especially with Transformers, a lot of times that tends to be China. So you can get some amazing deals. And I've had some incredible success ordering directly from China. And a lot of it has to do, well, two things. One is research, actually checking out, if you can, who the seller is. Go on Facebook to some of the Facebook groups. And you can just ask the question, has anybody ordered from this particular group or person before? What's your experience been? At least that way you get an idea if anyone's really been burned before. I've even done that with eBay sellers. Sometimes I see something on eBay and it's $100 for everybody. And then somebody's like, it's $40. And you're like, why is it 40? And there's a couple things to maybe keep in mind there is, well, first off, especially with Transformers, it could be a KO, it could be a knockoff, right? May not be an original manufactured piece from Hasbro, Takara Tomy, etc. So that's one thing to consider. Now I'm going to say that's not always bad. I mean, sometimes if you're really just looking for a display-worthy figure, right, and there's an appropriate KO that does the job and you can get a good price on it, more power to you, right? But oftentimes those knockoffs are coming again from China. So here's where you have to also be cautious of. Are you actually going to get what you expected to get? And the other thing you have to keep in mind, especially if you're ordering from overseas, is the time to deliver can vary wildly. I have ordered from China and had things show up within a week or two, and I've had some things take months. I mean, literal I think the longest I ever had was like 6 months to ultimately get it. Now that's a number of factors can play into that. I'm not going to go into all of it. I mean, you have obviously the time it takes to get through China and to get exported. A lot of those are coming over by ship. Then you have customs in the United States. Some things can get held up there. And then finally you have the delivery to your home. And it can be very challenging to track the progress. I mean, you really can go a long period of time, weeks potentially, having no idea where your package is. At minimum, you might be able to track it. There's some online, and again, you can search for this. There's some online resources you can use to track if you do get a tracking number. Through China Post, for example, you can at least track, has it left China yet? Oftentimes, once it reaches the United States and actually gets processed, you'll get an updated tracking number or be able to use the existing tracking number to kind of see where it's been handed off. Has it been handed off to UPS, FedEx, Postal Service, etc.? So just bear in mind, you have to be patient, and ultimately you might be waiting a long time just to find out if what you ordered is what you got. And that brings us to today, where I'm going to share a recent delivery that I got after waiting about 3 months for this delivery. So the first thing I have to do is I'm gonna show you this clip. So this clip should be running now. And what you can see, what I was looking to order was this cute little remote controlled Optimus Prime. And it was touted as both being remote controlled when it's in truck mode, so you can kind of drive it. And then you can hit a button and he will stop and he will transform himself. Now, it is not a super highly articulated figure. It is not super cartoon accurate, but I thought this thing was just so much fun watching it, just stop and then kind of twist around and go up, and then the body turns around, and you have this like pretty simple, almost G1 like transformer, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. This would be fun. And at $30, which is what I paid, I'm like, what a fun little display piece, what a fun little talking piece, something I could use in future videos. It was cute and it was fun, and it was $30. So I ordered it. Now, I did check and I'll put the name in the comments of who I ordered it from, so I can at least say, buyer beware, be cautious. But they said that they were U.S. based. And again, ultimately, while the people that were advertising it are U.S. based, everything they order was from China. So ultimately, where they said fast shipping ended up being about 3 months. So I put in my order knowing, again, got to be patient, got to wait it out, see what happens. And then yesterday, my package arrived. Now, my first concern was the package was pretty small, right? It was probably, about yay big, little box. But I'm thinking, oh, well, it's not a very big transformer, and depending, probably doesn't have a custom box, etc. So it's really just the size of the toy itself. But I'm thinking, plus a remote control and everything else, it seemed a little small. It also was a bit battered. It was a little bit beat up. And that's the other thing you should be thoughtful of when you're ordering from overseas, is that it's going through a lot of stops and destinations. And unless it's extremely well packaged, there is high risk. Maybe your results have been different, but medium to high risk of damage in transit. So I've ordered, for example, a bunch of Generation 1 Transformers in original boxes. The figures arrived fine, but the boxes were definitely busted up. Other times I've ordered, and it really, I think, depends maybe also on the seller. I ordered this Weijing Omega Supreme, which was a massive box, and it was extremely well packaged. Whoever packaged and shipped it really protected the box within another box, and it came, pretty much in mint conditions. But be aware, that is one risk you definitely take when you're ordering from overseas. So you've seen the video. Now let us see what actually arrived. So the first thing that arrived when I opened the box, which definitely didn't bode well, was this package of Transformers movie stickers. It just says stickers, and you can make out some of these Transformers. Cute, cute little stickers. Put them on a box. Put them on a lunchbox, maybe. But definitely not an automated transforming toy that I expected. Now, fortunately, underneath that, there was some bubble wrap, and I anxiously and carefully undid the bubble wrap because there was no box. The toy was just wrapped in the bubble wrap. And here we have my $30 automatic transforming Optimus Prime. Unfortunately, this is not what I ordered. This is Optimus Prime. I'll give them that. They got that part right. And it is a interesting knockoff figure. I don't know that I've seen anything like this from any of the legitimate brands, but it's definitely either a custom knockoff or third part, whatever it is. It is Optimus Prime, and it is a transformer, but it doesn't do anything by itself. It does not transform. It does not roll unless I push it. It is definitely an interesting figure, but not even close to what I was expecting. So ultimately, what do you do? Well, you really have kind of two choices. At least I think you have two choices. The first choice is you can reach out to the person you purchased it from, which I've done, and as of yet have not heard back. And that is option number 2, which is likely could be what happens, which is deal with it. You're going to have to accept that what you got is what you got, and you're probably not getting what you expected. And the challenge now keep in mind, of course, that means don't buy from them again. I mean, that's probably the best piece of advice. But the reality that I've experienced is this: when it works, great. When it doesn't work, you have very limited options. Even if the seller, for the sake of argument, is willing to give you a refund, that can be very tedious. And most times, they will try to at least maybe sweeten the deal, give you back some money for what you spent without you having actually doing a return. And definitely, I don't know that I've ever had an experience where they've actually been willing to do an exchange, send you what you ordered. Because again, you're all starting from scratch. Now it's another question of, it took 3 months to get this Optimus Prime. Am I going to wait another 3 months for them to potentially replace it, or am I going to kind of accept my losses? Now, ultimately, this was $30. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I mean, that's, it all depends. I know it's all relative, but for me, with, collecting and everything else, it's not an immense expense. So, buyer beware. But you have to remember that some of these offers, while they might be significantly cheaper than what you might expect to pay in the U.S., they can add up quickly. I mean, you could drop several $100s trying to order an immense amount of figures or collectibles, or large, like I did with the Wai Zhang figure. And there, like I said, you could get screwed. And if you get screwed, you could be out a fairly significant amount of money. So definitely be thoughtful. So here's what I think a couple of your options are, right? First, I talked about earlier, just do some research. Don't jump on something just because it looks like a great price. There's some great Facebook groups that I'm a member of, other discussion groups. And again, very easily you can go out, and most times if people have had good experiences, they'll share it. If they've had bad experience, they'll share it. But if people say they have zero experience, well, that should be your first kind of red flag. No one even knows who this particular seller or distributor is. You might need to think twice about sending any money over. Of course, the other alternative is look for stuff in the U.S. So there's definitely some resellers in the U.S. Now, you have things like TF Source, where you're going to get what you order. They're a reputable company, but they're expensive. My experience has been there's a premium to be paid because they went through all the trouble of getting the product in from China, and now they're reselling it, and there's usually a significant price increase or markup as a result of that. And of course, there's eBay, and eBay follows the same premise. You can do some research, check their feedback, look at the last 6 months of sales, see that they've sold other things like these Transformers and got feedback for them. Don't take your time, is what I'm ultimately saying. Take a little bit of time, because ultimately, for your money, you want to get what you paid for. You want to get what, and that excitement, of course, of, ooh, I'm opening the box and I got what I wanted. Versus, hey, look, at least they included a pack of stickers. So ultimately, like I said, my experience has been good, bad, and somewhere in the middle. And ultimately, as long as you kind of understand and accept the risk, if you are not an avid collector of knockoff third-party or products coming out from China or other areas outside of potentially the United States or the United Kingdom, etc., or Europe, then you definitely need to be very thoughtful about who you're buying from and what you're going to get. So ultimately, I hope your experiences have all been good. If you have any questions about ordering and the experiences I've had, please don't hesitate. Throw something in the comments. And of course, I'm going to say, if you like this video or our other videos, do us a huge favor. Take a moment, click subscribe. And that way we can continue bringing you what we hope is interesting and educational information to our collector community. Until then, I'm Dave Floss with Prometheus Falling Toys. Until then, I'm Dave Floss with Prometheus Falling Toys, and we'll see you soon.